spud lovers! Welcome back to another Stardew Valley video. Today I wanted to go over some of the most tragic, marriageable Stardew Valley characters in the vanilla game. No mods, including the expanded one. This is entirely my own opinion, but I am basing it on gameplay dialogue, cutscenes, and assumptions/inferences. Please be warned. This will include topics such as suicide, alcoholism, infidelity, and more. I encourage you to watch my other videos instead if these topics make you way too uncomfortable. There will also be spoilers from in-game cutscenes, so please be warned about all of these things. Now I'm going to be starting with the least tragic and making our way to the most tragic. So here we go. Number 12, Maru. The brainiac, robot engineer, researcher, nurse, and scientist all in one package. She has a pretty good life. She has a loving family, she has her own space for hobbies, a really good job, the respect of the community, ambitions to take her further, and a really good head on her shoulder. Really, the only thing I could say she's struggling with is an overprotective father, but really she's the most stable and down-to-earth character in the entire game. Number 11, Leah. Our brilliant artist. Like Maru, she has it pretty good, but she does struggle a little bit more in life. She has a nice cottage in the forest, has a good hobby, and a job that she works very hard at, and is well liked in the community as well. She would rather be in nature and take in the scenery around her rather than socialize, so she doesn't have too many friends. And she does have the struggle with finances and the woes that come with that. She does have issues as well with her past coming to haunt her when her ex Kel comes and bugs her from time to time. Outside of those things, she's doing great. Number 10, Harvey, the town doctor. He's like a combination of Leah and Maru. He's got a good head on his shoulders, good job, and the community respects him, and he's a really nice man. He does, however, struggle financially due to not having enough patience to really make ends meet that easily. With that comes the stress of the community needing a clinic, so Harvey can't really allow himself to go out of business at all. And he only went into the medical field due to his poor eyesight not allowing him to be a pilot, since that was his original dream. But he still is a positive character that deeply cares for the community and their health. Number 9, Sebastian. Our favorite dark and emo guy. He's quite similar to Maru since they are half siblings. He has his own space for hobbies and work, he has a loving family, loyal friends, and ambitions to take him further. His outlook on the world is a bit darker than others, causing him to have doubts on his future. He works hard at his programming job and tries to go to town to hang out with Abigail and Sam often. With all these positives, he still has feelings of inferiority towards Maru due to her success and their parents' overwhelming support and positive attitudes towards her versus how they act towards him. He wants to leave the valley for the city, but is stopped by his darker thoughts and the doubts that creep on him. Number 8, Sam. He's a fun-loving guy, so why so high on this list? Well, for a couple reasons. He loves having fun, skateboarding, rocking on his guitar, video games, and pulling pranks with his friends. He also has a soft spot for his little brother, Vincent, and despite his bemoaning, he helps out around the house even when his mom spoils him rotten and makes it so he doesn't really have to. And even if it does come with attitude, he does show his mom respect. And even has a part-time job to help out with the household expenses. With all those positives, he still has the stress of his father at war. He got thrusted in the man of the house role without really knowing what that means, but takes it very seriously. He's nervous about his father on the battlefield and even more nervous about his mental state when or if he'd return. Needing to be strong for his brother and mother, he struggles to find balance out of being a young man and a kid himself. Number 7, Emily, the resident hippie and bringer-upper to everyone. She works very hard to keep the townsfolk feeling happy and satisfied with life, while also working every single day at the Stardrop Saloon with Gus, and still having time for her sewing hobbies. She keeps the house clean and cooks for her and Haley despite Haley complaining or flat out refusing when Emily asks her to help out. The reason for her being above Sam in terms of tragedy is, like Sam, is due to her own parents. The girls have not seen either of their parents in 2 years. While Sam absolutely has concerns with his father returning and becoming a citizen again, I think it would be worse not seeing both of your parents at all. Gone with just their house as a memory while they travel the world and have no plans to return ever. It's as if they are both dead. If they really did refuse to return, that would put the sisters in charge of the house permanently and needing to figure out the finances part as well. Adding to the stress for her family's situation, she's only a barmaid to make ends meet. She would possibly need to work more or force Haley to get a job as well, as long as they both live together in the house. Number 6. Haley. The snobby fashionista of the town. Haley's had life handed to her on a silver platter. Despite this, I have her on the same level as Emily. While she refuses to help with the same duties that Emily has with the household obligations, I feel like she is setting herself up for a major crash. She has the same issues with her parents, since, they are the same parents. But because she has no job, judges people harshly, and just starts to open her eyes to things like outdoors, charity, and cooking, she will find life very difficult on her own once Emily decides to move out of the house. All she really has is her sense of fashion and photography. It's a similar negative impact of being spoiled, just like Sam and Vincent are. According to Emily, she has ambitions to marry rich and that's it, but what if that never happens? Number 5. Abigail. She's a strange one. On one hand, she's also living on a silver platter like many of the others. She goes to school and doesn't work. She has a large bedroom in a large house attached to a grocery store her family owns. She wants to express herself, though it's a little on the darker side than Caroline was hoping, and she's not afraid of being herself. She really struggles with feeling accepted for her weird self. Her future is also ambiguous, and not to mention the implication that Pierre is maybe not her father. She feels there is some secret about her and feels disconnected from Pierre as it is. It doesn't help that the dialogue from the wizard and Caroline make this inference pretty clear that they had hooked up about 9 months before Abigail was born. Her parents are mostly concerned with her being a normal girl and doing socially normal 1950s women-related duties like cooking. All she really wants to do is play video games, fight monsters in the cave, and play with her flute and solace, while being able to choose what she wears and how she acts on her own terms. But I feel like the lie of not knowing who your parents even are in the first place can have a damper on who you are as a person. Just having a gut feeling that you don't belong, but not being able to figure it out while your mom, who obviously knows that you're an adult now and is able to legally marry, still doesn't tell you the truth is a bit of a harsh one. Number 4. Elliot. The poet and writer of the group. Elliot is a soft-hearted, dramatic older bachelor. His past is pretty mysterious though, but one can infer that he came from some type of wealth. He lives in a small and barren cabin on the beach and does not work at all. He is in the valley specifically to write his great novel, and that's it. He has savings that are keeping him afloat for this process, but this is it. He doesn't have anything else going for him. No friends outside of Leah and Willie, no family to speak of, no skill sets outside of writing, no future ambitions after the book is done, nothing. After the book is done, he continues as normal, living in the small dilapidated shack on the beach, living a pretty lonely life. It seems to be self-inflicted, but honestly, without knowing the situation he came from, it's hard to make a judgment call on this one. Number 3, Penny. Okay, she's gonna be an obvious one. She is the babysitter. Really? That's the best I had for her? Well, I suppose that has a point. She is a loving girl who wishes for a place to be loved and taken care of. She babysits her alcoholic mother in their dirty trailer, babysits the 2 children of the town, and teaches them in lieu of formal education. She doesn't have many hobbies. Most include just reading and hanging out with Sam every so often. She's quite shy, but has a good heart and loves to learn things. On top of this, the tutoring she does is what supports her whole family until Pam's bus is operational again, which has already been out of order for a couple of years before the farmer even got there. This is additional stress, as her mom just spends all the money she makes at Jojo Mart or Stardrop Saloon. If she had help with the trailer finances and her mother, she'd be good to go. Unfortunately, her father also left the family when she was little and have never heard from him again. Number 2, Alex. Our all-star athlete that's destined to go big. Alex absolutely has big dreams and ambitions, lives with his grandparents that love him dearly, has a big house and a big room for all of his workouts, likes hanging out with his friends Haley and Dusty, has no job or responsibilities. Without his backstory, he'd be just like Haley with his pretentious attitude, harsh judgments, and not having to lift a finger for the household chores. He used to live with his mother, an abusive father, before the father finally was gone and then the mother got sick and passed away. Left with nothing as a young child, he moved in with his grandparents. He feels an eternal guilt for not being old enough to protect nor thank his mother for her sacrifice. He hopes that making it big in grid ball will be his way of showing his mom that he thinks of her and appreciated everything she did for him. But he also has a sense of doubt that tells him he won't make it big, and feels his mother's sacrifice would be in vain. His cocky attitude is just a smokescreen for being a scared little boy. Number 1. Shane. Last but not least. In fact, he's the last and most. The town's second alcoholic resident, Shane is a loner who only likes and tolerates his Aunt Marnie and his goddaughter Jazz. He rents a dark room from Marnie's place that is constantly littered with empty cans, piled clothes, and dirty footprints. His best friends had died recently, and that's how Jazz came to live with him. The struggle of having major depression and self-hatred, going to a soul-sucking job, and having a young girl that is relying on him at the same time sends him over the edge on more than one occasion. He contemplated ending his own life in the past and had once admitted it to the farmer during a particularly low day. Even if you take the Jojo Mart away, he feels even worse being unemployed. He loves his chickens and Jazz means the world to him. Those are the only things he really has. He's never had a family until Jazz and Marnie wiggled their way into his life, no friends until the farmer comes in, and no hobbies outside of drinking. He doesn't want to be around long enough to even think of a future. It's a shame that he can't even go back to playing grid ball like he did in high school, even if it's just throwing the ball with Alex. At least he can make a friend potentially. And on that very sad note, that's all I have for you lovelies today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I will catch you next time. Bye.